Sunshine Wild Ones, it's Bernadette. I am here with your Pick a Card Daily Tarot reading for Saturday, December 5th, 2020. And if you're wondering what I'm doing bouncing up and down, I'm imagining that I'm a Bedouin riding my camel Trixie through the open lands of the desert while singing, you know the song, Midnight at the Oasis. Send your camels to bed. Who doesn't love that song? Oh, you have a couple of glasses of wine. That's the best song from the 70s, right? So, Camel, da 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 da. As the Page of Pentacles has appeared for us today, there are no words for how much I love this card. There are no words. But I got to say the words because it's your daily reading, right? Okay, so here's first thing first. Maybe it's because I grew up in the U.S., but the whole world feels this way about horses. The Middle Eastern culture just, and parts of the Asian culture just absolutely revere camels because to them, they're like our horses. So right there, you know that their entire civilization may or may not have gotten built, if they had not employed the help. I say that with the most wry sarcasm I can possibly say. Engage their valuable services to help them build their empires, right? So the first thing that I always like to do when I talk about camels or horses or other animals who, humans have engaged their valuable services, okay, basically enslaved them and used them, okay, is to just sometime during the day today or tomorrow, just take a minute or two and just give thanks to those and honor those particular animals because we got a lot of making up to those animals to do. So that said, that might sound like this reading is starting off on a little bit of a wah, 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 but it's really not. And here's why. It really actually ties into the reading. Here's why. So when we take a look at the Page of Pentacles in its traditional Rider-Waite meanings, and for those of you who don't know, I am the creator, channel, and publisher of the award-winning and now best-selling Arc Tarot, Animal, and Oracle deck. And the portion in the deck that is dedicated to tarot cards is based on Rider-Waite. And just in kind of taking a look at pages in particular, their energy is like a much, much younger, much less mature, much less experienced knight or king or even queen. Because, the argument rages, right? The debate rages in the tarot community, the mystic community, the esoteric community. Our pages, like, are they male? Are they female? And since the argument goes both ways, here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't care. I don't care. Read them female, read them male, read them binary. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's coming to you intuitively, and what matters is your client. So whatever message is supposed to get to your client or whoever you're pulling the card for, that's all. That's it. So that's Bernadette's take on the whole raging debate, and I tend to stay out of those kind of debates. So there you have it. So all of that being said, whatever gender or not or whatever that you read this card, bottom line is this kid, we'll just call it a kid, is, and you can be a kid no matter what age you are. When you embark on a new quest for wisdom, for knowledge and wisdom, you can be 98, and if you're like, you know what, I want to learn how to make combustible engines, and you go learn how to make combustible engines, you're still a kid, right? So this card is definitely a call for no matter what age you are. If there's something you want to know about, if there's some thing that you want to get to, get your motor running, let's go. And one of the things that I love, 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 love about the Page of Pentacles is this kid has an open mind. When we take a look at the Ten of Pentacles, the wisdom in that card, the person gained wisdom from observing like the known moral and natural laws and reflecting on a lifetime experience. But the young person in the Page of Pentacles is literally a blank slate. Listen, who among us that's walking a spiritual path doesn't yearn for the time that you were a blank slate? I know I do. I think back to the energy of that time and the hopefulness and just the bright-eyed, whoop-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo, look at all this world has to offer, do-de-doo-de-doo-de-doo, where do I go first? And in a lot of ways, I'm still like that because, I always say don't grow up. It's a horrible trap. But, listen, there are days, I own my own business, and there are days that I just want to take an ice pick and, I don't know, stab my computer or something. So it's just anything that you're thinking about doing, that quest for knowledge or wisdom or experience that you're thinking about embarking on, make sure when you do that that you can embark on that and be just as blank a slate and have just as open a mind as you possibly can, or you're going to miss crucial information. There's a ton of information to absorb, and you're going to miss the information that's going to be best for you. So don't do that. Okay. You know, when you take a look at the freshly plowed field in the background, that's very symbolic of his mind. In the pursuit of higher knowledge, you've got those tall blue mountains in the back, but he's plowed under outdated ideas and beliefs. And that's, you know, listen, don't make me go into the whole metaphor about your mind being a fertile ground and start, because y'all, I grew up in the South. I could keep you on here about gardening and farming, you know, metaphors for a couple, 2, 3 days. Don't make me do that. But there is great wisdom in plowing under your field and not overworking your crops and not overthinking your crops and not overwatering them, but don't underwater them. You know, it's the whole balance thing all over again. And it can be really difficult to know kind of where you're at the moment. But what you can do is when you are a completely blank field, a field that's ready to be propagated or planted, seeded, be sure what you want to seed, because this card will tell you. And the camel brings its, you know, as a spirit totem and power animal, camel brings all of its symbolic meaning into the mix because it doesn't stop. Camels do not stop ever, ever, ever. They're just the strength and the endurance of these animals is just like, really? But that's because in their humps, and I was 54 years old when I learned this. My whole life I've thought camels only stored water in their humps. Not true. They store fat in their humps as well. And that's what gets them from point A to point, you know, triple Z without keeling over in the desert, is because they pack for the trip. And when you marry that with the Page of Swords, you know, in tarot card meanings or interpretation, then you really get an idea of how, like, just how powerful, how much power, how much endurance that this page can infuse you with if you work with the card for long enough. And working with the card can mean some people sleep with it under their pillow, some people tote it around with them in their purses, in their wallets, in their coat pockets. Some people put it by the bed. Some people put it on their altars. Some people meditate with it. I mean, y'all, you could be cooking sketty dinner for your family and put it, you know, somewhere where you can see it or even just know it's there. And, you know, you're doing your sauce and chopping up your garlic and all that. And Page of Pentacles is going just a little more garlic. Just go a little bit, you know, cook that just a little bit more. Do it just go the distance. That's it. Go the distance. This is the, y'all, thank you so much. You have helped me rename this card for my own readings and in my own mind. I'm going to call it the Go the Distance card, because that's what this is. Go the distance. Okay. So that being said, just like camels, you know, if you've ever seen them run, they're about the most. Oh God, those poor old boys and girls are big palookas, man. They just glump across that desert. But they get to where they want to go, or they're getting to where they want to go. So, okay. And, you know, the Page of Pentacles is like that. He's not a real fast mover, not like a knight. Nobody moves as fast as a knight, right? But the steps are deliberate, and he does get to where he wants to go. Now, the Page of Pentacles, he's got the double aspect of earth, right, within him, which is shown by his brown and olive clothing. So once you get that earth element in there, you know, earth people, they don't shake a tail feather. They don't shake much of anything unless you make them mad and they pound the earth. They just kind of plod along. But there's great wisdom in that. There is great. They get to where they want to go. And, you know, in that respect, nothing, it can seem like nothing's happening on the surface with them. Sometimes they may not be the most yada da da yada da kind of people, but that doesn't mean that there's not deep, deep, deep processing going on under the surface. It's, I guess I've heard it called the toddler stare, where you think they're staring off into space and you're like, hello, you with me? Yeah. They're doing what we as adults don't often take time to do, which is daydream, consider things, Just take the time to do it. Now, some people don't have to do it. I got to be honest. I'm a pretty snap person. When I see something, if I'm unsure of it in my gut, then I will take the time to process. But mostly, I'm a gut person. It either feels right or it doesn't. It either feels this high and big or not so much. And I adjust my decisions accordingly. But I don't know what kind of person you are. Listen, with the all y'all that watch these things, then thank you very much. There's bound to be 50 different kinds of y'all out there. So whatever you need to take away from this card in particular means slow down, you move too fast, got to make the decisions last, right? Okay, so chill. Also, it this page is trying to understand um, how the world it comes together, and you can take a look at that with the five-pointed star, pentacles, right? Earth, air, fire, water, spirit, and it can take a little bit of time to figure out how such separate elements can all work together to create the world that we live in, but it can create the world you want to live in. So we're talking about the physical world, earth, air, fire, water, spirit, this physical world, but it lends itself to your spiritual world. It lends itself to your material world, because remember, pentacles can be about all things spiritual, but they also are definitely about, material world and what you want to have in it, create in it, that kind of thing. So take a look at the red cap and scarf that the Page of Pentacles is wearing. That's his passion. The joy are the flowers at his feet. And learning is really all he's interested in for right now. It's almost like the universe is sending you back to school in a way. Well, not in a way. The universe is sending you back to school. So if you are thinking about a new venture, oh, perfect. So I did a reading for a gal, I don't know, not too long ago. And God love her. She is a heck of a businesswoman. And she wants to create a brand. So she's got the opposite problem most people have. Most people know what they want to say to the world. They know what they want to present to the world. They just don't know how to do it. She's got that part down. She knows how to do it. She knows how to bring all the online pieces together and the this together and the that together. But she's just having a heck of a time moving forward to present herself to the world. That's the opposite problem a lot. Well, really, most people have. So when you are on this journey, this is also going to be a journey to learn new things about yourself, very surprising things, if you'll allow it, by starting this out with a blank slate. You are a blank slate. What do I need to know about me? What do I need to know to move ahead with my journey, right? It doesn't even matter what you're thinking about doing. All of these same things apply, whether it's like, I want to learn to make bagels, to I want to open a fine, patisserie, to you may decide you want to learn computer coding. Listen, having watched Criminal Minds, and I've binged it, and so I'm like in the last season of it. Don't tell me la 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 la. But I'm fascinated. Hotch. I wish he hadn't kicked the producer and gotten kicked off the show. But God, and I'm so sorry if you haven't watched Criminal Minds. That didn't happen. I just made it up. It didn't happen. I made it up. So anyway, but I'm obsessed with Penelope because I'm a computer person, and I even thought so hard about going to computer coding school or finding some hacker and I just want to know what they know. I don't want to do it. I just want to know, because I'm fascinated by how those minds work. Why I'm drifting off into that story and going down that rabbit hole is this is not the time to think of ordinary things. This is not the time to think of mundane things. This is the time to breathe life into your dreams. I don't care how kooky you think they are. Listen, when I was in college, I was friends with one of the baseball players, Florida School of the Arts. This kid wanted to be a professional baseball player, and all I wanted to do was sing and dance for a living, right? So he was from South Africa, and he was just fascinated with the pizza available in the United States. I'm like, Don't they have pizza in South Africa? He said, no. So that was it. For 6 months, we met almost every week and we were getting our business plan together. And he was writing, because, there was no, you could not call South Africa at that point as a college kid unless you came from a wealthy family. And we, neither of us did. So it was about letters back and forth. We were sending letters back and forth to his family in South Africa and getting them to look up restaurant supplies and locations and how are we going to get pepperoni to South Africa? How are we going to get, we and our folks thought we were nuts. And of course we never opened a pizza parlor in South Africa and we did not become the pizza barons of South Africa, but what it did was teach me a lot. And it taught me a lot about how people will laugh at you. Oh, my family thought I was the most ridiculous dang thing ever. I had one friend who was like, if you can make money and you want to live in South Africa and you want to be a Mamma Mia, what do I do to help? That's just a cool idea, and who knows where it'll take you. One person. Everybody else made fun of us. Um, so that taught us not to stop dreaming because people make fun of us. And my biggest dream right now is that my hair will get under control at some point. But the other thing it taught us was, you know what? However kooky your dream is, it's your kooky. It's your business. And if you're excited about it, dream your dang dream. Because that's how, y'all, my God, Spanx. You know the story behind Spanx, the lady that started Spanx? Spanx, it's a multi-gazillion-dollar business. Read the story about how this gal started Spanx. You'll be like, I'm gonna start my whatever. So all of that being said, that's the biggest part of Page of Pentacles. You've got messages coming your way. It's the time for you to learn, to absorb the information. Man, I love this card. So when you take a look at how the camel as a spirit totem and power animal dovetails into it, at the end of the day, we've already talked about the humps. Now you're going to want to pack for your trip. For me, when I was thinking about a pizza parlor in South Africa, I packed my hard-headedness because believe me, that's the food that's gotten me through most things in life. I'm just relentless. I am hard-headed. I get knocked down and I get up about 500 million times again because I'm stubborn. And I'm stubborn and I'm Scorpio. I desire. And once I desire it, that's that. So, but other people are not like that. So you got to pack. And the packing of the fat in your humps to get you through this time may be that you're a person that needs to take breaks. You're a person that needs to take time off for a while. I'm working with a friend of mine, my BFF, and she is we're working on a creative endeavor together, and she needs time to think about things. And I'm just like, nope, need to change this, do this, do this, do this. And I'm on about my Mary business, and she needs time to let it assimilate, think about it. And at first it was frustrating for both of us. Well, not she's like Mother Teresa, nothing frustrates her, but it's so annoying about her, and that frustrates me. Anyway, we're like two halves of a brain at this point. It goes really, really well. But whatever fat you need to pack it. Because if you'll lean into this card, if you'll step into it, you'll call on this camel as your spirit totem and power animal. Woo, what you're going to accomplish, I don't even know. So again, sticking to it, not giving up, packing for the trip. Something else I love about camels is in the Bedouin culture, when camels drink, the Bedouins sing magic songs to them, and they embrace them as a beloved part of their family. Because listen, without them, they're going to face plant in that hot sand, and that won't be pretty. They're not getting up from that craziness. So I always see camels as a very life-giving and life-saving animal, angelic in a way that I don't know, just angelic in a way, because they're saving lives. Now, I'm sure they would rather not be doing that. I'm sure they did not walk up to a Bedouin family and say, I'm your huckleberry. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. but that particular culture treats those animals in such a magical, honorable way. Who doesn't love that, right? Okay, so what the call there is for you to treat this dream of yours like family, this new quest, this new found wisdom that you want to have, this thing that you want to embark on. It's got to be magical. It's got to be considered family, and sing to it, feed it, water it, just honor it for what it's going to do for you. But listen, everybody out there, I bet if I could get y'all to take a poll, every one of you, and every one of you would fill it out. I would bet money. I'd bet real hard money that you want to do something that is going to enrich the world or enrich the lives of others. Now, could it be argued if you want to open a pizza parlor? Yes, people love pizza. You're spreading the love. Yes, it absolutely can. See, I was trying to lead you down the wrong path. I was like, la 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 la, but yes, it can. I don't know about y'all, but fried eggplant ricotta pizza has saved my life on many of occasions. It has stopped my tears on many of occasions. It has made me feel at home. Um, even looking out my back door and seeing whatever, maybe you decided that you want to be a horticulturist. Do you know the pleasure that flowers and plants and that brings people? And of course, it's the lungs of the world. Without them, we I don't know, we'd suffocate. That'd be it. That's a fact. So if you haven't thought of your dream or your profession, maybe this is like you're in a profession and you just want to go to a different place in that profession. Maybe that's what you've got to focus on, is the spiritual component of that. What life are you saving? What life are you enriching? What are you doing for the world? So I hope this has been helpful. With all of these things in mind, you guys know by now, the difference between spirit, totem, and power animals. If you don't, and you want to know more how to work with camel medicine and energy, look in the comments below, and there's a video there. You can click on it and listen to it. It'll tell you the difference between spirit, totem, and power animals, and you can get closer to all your animal allies. Buy the ark, buy the ark, buy the ark. It's Christmas time. Buy somebody the ark. It's Yule time. And if you've got an animal lover who's also a mystic, or into all the woo-woo, the metaphysics, they will love you. They will love you. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Ka-ding! Click the little dingy-ding, ring-a-ding bell below, and all of the spirit animal, totem animal, and power animal goodness will come your way every day. But just like camel, you got to stay on it, stay on it. And what is it you got to stay on? You got to stay on staying wild.